Hey everyone, it's Bobby. I want to share with you my Craftology project for November. This is for Country Craft Creations design team. And here is your beautiful paper. This is the Yuletide collection. Isn't it just gorgeous? These are some of the cut-aparts that came with the ephemera package, and I just backed them on the dark green cardstock. Made a little banner here and layered them up. It just is so pretty. And then on the side, I just made a little collage of the different papers, and the back is very plain. Just one of the print has many of the Christmas songs on it, and I kept the spine of the box, glue string, just plain so it would appear like a book. So when you open the box like this, we have a folder inside, and I've lined the box. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. Y'all are going to love it. This Merry Christmas came with the collection, and I just backed it on some green artisan cardstock, which is what I used to cover the box as well. And I used some silver glitter paper that I had in my stash and just added that to the front. I did leave the back very plain. I don't know if I'll put anything on it or not. I haven't decided. But I did a collage on the spine here as well. Then on the inside of the folder, it opens this way. Let me make sure you can see everything. We'll do the left side first. You have two photo mats or photo and journaling on this side. Then it opens this way. And it opens again. Papers are just beautiful. And you can put photo mats. I haven't added any photo mats or folders or inserts yet. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But I wanted to get this out because I know the Craftology boxes have been mailed, and I've had several people ask me to hurry up and get mine ready since they know the boxes are being mailed. So I wanted to go ahead and show you the layout, and there will be a cut list posted after the in the description box, and there is a tutorial following this walkthrough. So here you have an envelope pouch here. And then there's another insert spot here. And these will both have inserts in them, which, like I said, they'll be in a separate tutorial. So it closes up like this with a magnet, and then we go to the right side. This piece is magnetized and comes off. It opens this way and this way. Look how pretty they are, all shimmery and shiny. And then it opens this way. And you have a tuck spot here and here. Opens this way. And then you have another place for an insert here. Oh, I forgot. I do that every time. Anyway, there will be something here. And you have a large space here to put photos or whatever you might want to add on there. But it is so pretty. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. So it attaches like that. So I tell you, those of you who were able to get one of the Craftology boxes are just going to love it when you get it. It's absolutely beautiful. So stay tuned for the tutorial, and the cut list will be in the description box. And then in a couple days there will be another tutorial on the inserts that go in all those pockets. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Alright, for the first folio, we are going to build the base. We need two pieces that are 12 by 9, and they are both scored the same at 3/4 of an inch and at 7 3/4, just like this, 3/4 and 7 3/4. Then we're going to lay this one in the scoreboard. I'm going to turn this one around so that the 3/4 inches match. I like to lay them in the, let me move this, it's in my way. I like to lay them in the scoreboard just to make sure I get them absolutely matched up. So that one will go like that. I'm going to add a little of the art glitter glue. And we're going to match these up together almost, but not quite to the glue on me. I've always got something on me. right up to the score line, but not over it. So we're going to bring this one up over the top, line it up, get it as straight as we can, and press it down. I knew I had too much glue there. I could see it right from the get-go. And I thought that would make me, there we go. Make sure we don't run out the back. We're pretty good. Now, just for extra support on the inside of the spine, I like to cut a small piece of the lightweight chipboard just to go in my spine. Just to give it, yeah, you've probably seen albums, folios in folders that kind of mash over to the side. They don't stand up straight when they're folded, and that is just to avoid that. And I like to take, Huey, don't start. I like to take just a marker and go along the edge just to make sure it doesn't show. Tell you, he's been quiet all day. Now he's going to start. I was cutting the pieces and doing my cut list this morning, and he slept through the whole thing nice and quiet all morning. And as soon as I turn on the camera, he starts. And you can almost guarantee it. So, we won't have the contrast of the brown against the green, just in case it shows. Oop, I got a little ooze running over there. And I'm just going to glue this down right over that little spine plate piece. And then we'll put the green right on top of it. And it will cover it up. Just right between the two score lines. Just like that. A little short. A little bit short of the top and the bottom. And then the green will go right over the... Ooh, that's leaking. I must not have got this metal tip on good, as it was leaking out the bottom. Let's hope that doesn't happen anymore. I'm just going to put my glue right here. It's almost like he's got radar. It's like, oh, video. Let's see if we can make some noise. And he's pretty good at doing that. So I'm just going to lay that right over the chipboard. You know, you don't even see it. But that gives you a nice stable spine. Let me get put my pen back in here until I'm ready for it again. I filled it up this morning. I may have overfilled it. And I need to... Where's my scoring tool? I'll use this one. Okay, now on these two score lines that were 7 3/4, I'm going to fold them under with the fold. They're actually going to go the other direction, but I want to fold them correctly to start with. Now I'm going to bring them back this way. Just make sure they line up and you have a straight edge. And we'll do the other one the same way. Bring it to the inside. And then we want to fold these two. And give them a good burnish. Bring it right right up to that chipboard. And then burnish it. And see, that gives you a nice stable spine and it doesn't flip-flop on you. Okay, next thing we want to do is open this out. And on the left-hand side, we're going to have a pocket. This is 8 by, I think, 5. Where's my ruler? I've got it all written down on the cut list, but not in front of me. 8 by 5.5. And it's scored at a half. And these little folders are small, don't have a whole lot in them, but I think if you make 4, 1 for each week of December, and then put them in a display box, it would just make the cutest piece. And it'd be nice to give it for a gift even. And there's not a lot in it. I think I've probably maybe 4 to 5 sheets of cardstock in this one, which isn't bad at all. Now let's do this pocket. This pocket is 9 by 4. And of course, you're going to miter your corners like I just did. And I want to put a notch in it. Let me find my, you know what, I might just use a circle punch maybe. Let me grab a circle punch. Huey, that is enough. Goodness, he just doesn't quit. Well, I'm not finding what I want, so let me grab my envelope board. We'll use that. Gotta dig around. Okay, there's the envelope board. I do want to round the corners on this top piece. And then on the pocket, I want to punch. Now once these are scored under, it's now 8, so we're going to punch it in the center at 4. One time. And that's all we need. I think that's enough. I don't want to get it too busy. The papers and the embellishments are busy enough. But I'm telling you, they are beautiful in this collection. Beautiful. You never hear me say, that's so gorgeous, I hate to cut into it. But this one I do. I really do. It is just... Of course, Christmas is my favorite holiday anyway. Alright, so this is going to attach here. And then this will attach right inside the spine. So let's put this together. Get some glue on it. Okay. Let's match this up with the bottom. Give it a good burnish. Now we can put glue on this outside edge. We don't have to miter these because it's shorter than the album. If it was end to end, I would trim the corners just to make sure I didn't have any overlap. But that won't be an issue with this. So let's get some glue on here. He's just going to keep it up. There's nothing I can do to stop him because the neighbors are out there. She has a lot of company, and they'll pull up. Instead of going to knock to the door, they just blare on their horn. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So that little pocket is going to be just shy of that. Let's make sure it's going to close good. I need to move it over just a little bit farther. I don't want it to hit that chipboard. Now we're good. Does that look straight? It's not exactly even, I'll tell you that. I can tell that. That's a 1/2 inch. And that's a 1/2 inch. It's straight, but it's not exactly even, but I think it's okay. And then it will lift up like this so that we have this space to utilize. Okay, what else do we have? For this side, I am going to put these little corner pockets on the back side. So we have another pocket, but once I turn, I want to paper this. Well, I don't necessarily have to. I can go ahead and put them down. Let's do that. Huey, I really wish you'd quit. It's not necessary to make all that noise. He thinks it is. So we're going to miter these. Should be able to push the paper down inside of it, right? And these are both. What I did to get this is I cut one piece that was 9 by, I think it was 2.5. Let me make sure. Yeah, 9 by 2.5. And I scored it like I was making one big pocket, the 3 sides. And then I cut it in half. And then once I cut it in half, I measured 1/2 inch from the side, from the corner fold, and 1/2 inch from the bottom. So 1/2 inch in here and 1/2 inch in here. That's with both your flaps turned under. And then just cut it on the diagonal. So these will sit right inside that edge, and they should match up. Yep, they might be a little. Let me see, if there's going to be any overlap, then I'll trim them because I don't want them to overlap. Maybe I'll take just a snip off of each one. I don't want there to be a gap either. I want to make sure it's a match. Yeah, I think that's all I needed, just a little snip off of one. So we can glue these down. Just inside, right even with that edge, and just above that score line. Oops, let me get it over to the edge. There we go. You gotta be straight there, turkey. Okay. Okay, let's glue this down. And we should match. Voila, we do. Yay. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? Remember the A-Team? They used to say that. I'm probably telling you how old I am. Oh well, who cares? Old means experience, right? Okay, so there's that. Let me cut a few more pieces and I'll be right back and we'll add some more to this, right? Okay, now we're on the right side. I have a piece that is 7 by, I think, 4.5. Yes, 4.5, and it is scored on one long side at 1/2, and then I've rounded the corners. And we're going to burnish this. And then we have a piece that is 8 by maybe 2. Yep, 8 by 2. And I've mitered the corners. And we're just going to burnish those folds. Going to make another pocket. This one will be smaller than the first pocket. And there will be 2 magnets in this little folder. So we're going to add the pocket right here, and then this one will sit right inside here. And let's put a notch. What did I do with my, there it is. So once that is turned under, it becomes 7. Yep. So we need to put this in the punch board at 3.5 to get it centered. There we go. I have the 1, 2, 3 board. I had to replace the original one I had several years ago. It finally, the punch part froze when I pushed it down. It like locked in place and it wouldn't pop back up, so I had to buy another one. I ended up getting the 1, 2, 3 punch board, the party board, I think they called it. Didn't put my pin back in when I was cutting these other pieces. I'm terrible about that. I always forget my pin. Okay. So let's get some glue on here. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Don't be a pain. It's not wanting to cooperate. There we go. A little bit. It's got something in there in the way. Probably going to have to take it into the kitchen and clean it out in the sink or get me another metal tip out. Goodness gracious. I'll pull the metal tip off for now so I can finish what I'm doing. I just have to not squeeze very hard or they'll come out too quick. Okay. I'm going to center this right, put this edge to edge, and line it up with the bottom. And then we'll put some glue on this. Now you don't have to put this in the center if you don't want. You can put it at the bottom or put it at the top. I'm going to put mine sort of at the center. I'm going to eyeball it. Get it as close as my vision will allow me. Whoops. Wipe up any glue seepage. And when they lift up like that, that still leaves you this full sheet under there. Now this piece is, you see that dark spot? I had washed my hands and put hand lotion on, and I think there must have been oil hand lotion, because when I picked up the paper like that, it made a stain, but it'll be covered with design paper, so it doesn't really matter. But I just thought I'd tell you that does happen, because it happened to me. This one is 11 by 7, and it is scored on one end at a half. And we're going to burnish that on the fold line. And it is going to sit along this edge in the center, pretty much. Even with that other one, as much as can be. And hey, my eyeball then got it pretty darn close. What are the chances of that happening again? Probably nil and zilch and all that. Alright. So let's put this down. And measure it again before I press it into place. Make sure it's lined up. Looks pretty good. And this will have a magnet. This will lap over the folder, and there will be a magnet here and here, and there will be a magnet here and here, or somewhere. And then this little die cut, this journaling spot, is going to be right here. Actually, I can put my magnet on this and down here, so that'll work. It won't have to go through so many thicknesses. So that's the basic layout. And I want to use this Merry Christmas that came in the collection, and I'm going to pop it up on some additional cardstock so that it hangs off the page like this. And that's going to go there, and this is going to go here. Isn't that pretty? I just love this paper. It's so pretty. Alright, that's the basic layout. Now I've got to cut into the pretty papers. Pray for me, I need it, because I don't want to cut it, but I'm going to. Alright, I'll be back shortly. We'll put the rest of it together. Okay, we're going to continue on. We have made our folder. We did this all together, if you recall. I did add a magnet right here. And we'll decorate this later. And then I have a magnet under here that holds it. This will actually glue here, and this will open this way, and then this way. Like that. So there's our folder, and then I built an album cover, and I did this using Tammy's new method of wrapping. If you haven't seen it, I do have a tutorial on my channel, and I'll put a link in the description box how to build your cover like this. It is so easy and just awesome. The next thing I want to do, I want to build the cover before I cut any of my papers, so I make sure I have enough of what I want for the outside. I don't want to get cutting all my papers and then think, oh man, I don't have what I wanted for here, because this is important. This is the first thing people will see. So I did build the cover. I added the piece to the inside. Now what we're going to do is build a three-sided box that will sit in here. And let me grab the folder. The folder will actually sit inside right there. And it will close like a book, but it'll have the three sides that are solid. Isn't that a cool idea? Something different. So here's what we're going to do. Let me set these aside. I have 4 pieces of lightweight chipboard. I have all the sizes on my cut list. I'll tell you real quick. this one is 7 1/4, I think 9 1/4, and these are 7 1/4 and 9 1/4, and each one of them is 1 1/4 inches deep. So what we're going to do is score around all these pieces just to soften the fibers so that we get a nice score, or a nice fold, I should say. And over here. Okay, now we're going to fold on all of these edges, and I left like 1.5 inches because this is 1.25 inches. I left these at 1.5 inches to allow for folding over, and then I can trim off whatever I don't need. But I do want this to fold to the inside so that the green covers this piece. And then we'll cut a piece. This will fold in, and then we'll cut a piece to fill in here. So we're going to fold it just like we would an album cover. Burnish all of these. It's a little stiff because this is where I joined 2 pieces. This is longer than 12 inches. So I had to join 2 pieces together like we normally do for an album cover. Let's see if it'll roll. It might make it easier. The lightweight chipboard, I just don't want it to bend. There we go. I don't want the chipboard to bend on me and not give me a good straight line. That's what I was trying to avoid. Okay. Now, see, these will fold up this way and then I'll make a 3-sided box. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut out these 2 boxes on the corner. And I can trim more off later, and I'm sure I'll need to. I always do. I'm going to take this jacket off. I'm getting too warm. It's been really cold today. But I'm getting a little warm, so I'm going to take it off. And as the sun goes down, I'll have to put it back on. Okay, so you can see that I'm overlapping right here. And I don't want that, so I'm going to make a pencil mark right here, where I can see the edge of it. Actually, we need to miter it anyway. So let me miter it so I can see it better. There we go. Right here. I want to cut it off at there. And we'll do the same thing with this one. No, this one. Sorry. Wrong corner. We'll miter this again. And I left it a little long just to be safe. We never know, you know. And I'll miter these as well. Just so I can make sure everything's cleaned up. Just a little bit off of there. I don't want it so short that my chipboard's going to show. But like I've shown you before, you can always take a marker. If you do happen to get just a hair too much, you can take a marker that's similar to your chipboard piece or your cardstock piece and kind of go around the edges and fix that. Okay, so we've got that marked here and here. And this gets trimmed here. And this, not much off of this one. Okay. Put these in my paper trimmer real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, I have trimmed my edges down. Now here we want to cut straight in along the chipboard. Actually, if you want to, you can fold it to get a good line on it, but I think this will be just fine. We're going to need these tabs to roll around and secure our sides. So we're going to go around here and do the same thing. And I don't think I mentioned, I put each of these pieces down on my chipboard with, or my cardstock with the score tape sheets from Country Craft Creations. So these are going to roll in here. So we're going to have more to cut out that we're not going to need. And it's going to be, let's go ahead and roll these so we can get a line on where we want to cut that out. We want to cut out this square right here. Oops. Get all my little fragments there out of the way. Okay, so let's roll it that way. And roll this one this way. Just so we can see our score, our little fold line, and we know where to cut that out. Don't cut it too short, you don't want to expose your cardstock. Always leave yourself ample room because you can come back and take out more if you need to. Okay, now these are going to wrap around to secure it. So we don't need the whole thing, but we do need, I want enough, a little bit more than the, well, it is 1.5 inches, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. And then I'm going to taper each one so I don't have any overhang. Taper both edges. Oops, didn't get that straight. A little bit compromised on that there. Okay. So let's do this one the same way. Cut that extra tab out. And we'll taper these. And right there. Now this is going to fold this way. Oh, we left one of those. Okay. This is going to stand up here. This will wrap around, and all of these will fold to the inside. This will go this way. This is going to fold in. But my dilemma is, let me give this some thought. I'll be right back. Okay, next step. We need to cut out these two corners here, these two little squares on the front. So let's get those. This is the first time I've built one this way, so I have to keep stopping and checking my measurements and making sure I'm telling you right. So I don't want to cut it wrong or to have you cut it wrong. So let me check my corner here. I want to cut straight along this fold. Let me take this one out. it's hard to see your score lines on this dark. Actually, on any cardstock, really. There. Don't know that that's... Let me make sure it's... Yes, that looks good. That looks good. That one may have a little overage. Just a little. I don't want to have puckered paper. Just take a hair out. And that one needs to be mitered. A little bit. Kind of awkward, isn't it? Alright, this one's not straight. I can see that right now. Kind of hard to get in there. There's chipboard there, that's why. Okay, I don't want to cut that. Let's just cut this. Just a hair. There we go. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. These are our 3 sides that make our box. Like this. My concern is, oh, I need to trim that. My concern is that because normally this wraps around, and in this case it's not going to, and I'm concerned about this corner not being supported and trying to wing out on me. So what I did was I cut 2 little scraps, and they're I think they're 2 by 3. I had a 3-inch scrap. 2, yeah, by 3. And I'm going to score them. And this is 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to score them at 1 1/4 inches, and I'm going to run them from here down into here just to make sure that that is anchored good. So let me score them at 1 1/4. I just want to make sure they're supported and they're not going to look all wonky once I put it together and then can't get in there to do anything about it. So should I score it at 1 1/4? I'll score it at 1 3/8, or 1 1/8, I mean. 1 1/8. And then I'll be able to attach it here and here. That should do the trick. Okay. Alright. So once we roll these up, then we have this piece, which we need to cut straight up. This is becoming more of an ordeal than I realized, but I think in the long run it's going to be worth it. What did I do? There's my scoring tool on. Laid it in the wrong place. I want to get a good edge on this. Because I want part of this to turn under to cover this edge, but I don't want this whole thing. I don't need all that. So let's roll this under. Now we may still have some trim work to do. I just want something to turn under here to cover that raw edge. So let's cut right here. And right here. And I know I'm going to have to trim it up. I always do, but that's okay. I'd rather take some more off than try to put it back on when it's already gone. Cannot do that. Okay, now let's turn this under and trim this edge up. Sometimes I come up with these bright ideas and then I think, why did I even do this? Oh, me. That's okay. Hopefully I'll love it to death when it's done. Okay, I think we're ready to put it together, guys. Alright. I'm going to take just a hair off of this because I can see a score line and I don't like the way it's curled. That one's not curled. Or that one, or this one. Okay. We're good. Okay, let's start putting this together. I think what we'll do is fold these down first. And let's hope my glue cooperates. It's getting really cold here, so I have to pamper my glue and make sure it doesn't get all goopy on me. Okay, we're going to fold this one in. Burnish it real good. Let's do this one. Oops. Now you can see I did go around the edges of the chipboard just for safety, and it's a good thing because right here I'm just a hair short. When I trimmed it I got carried away. Now let me look at my edges. Looks like it's going to be good. Okay, let's glue this one down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take just a hair right here and see where it's a little bit curled. I don't like that curled edge. Okay. Okay. Oh man, I forgot to put that piece in there. I hate that I did that. I forgot to put that piece in there, guys. Oh man. This is going to curl in here. And I didn't want that to show. You know what I do? I'll put it over here. And it won't be so obvious because we're going to put designer paper in there. So that's what I'll do. All my great plans. Ugh. Is it going to be short of the edge? Yes. Our design paper will cover it, and this will go over there. That'll still be fine because we'll have design paper in here, so let's do that. Just going to sit it right in there like that. And then this is going to turn in here. Like that. I hope y'all see what I'm doing. I put that anchor here because I forgot it. And now this is going to turn in there. That should hold it. let's put this one in. Move this over a little bit so you can see better. It's the whole point of the tutorial, so you can see what I'm doing. Now, put this right in here. And wrap this corner around. Oops, this one's not trimmed up, and I have some overhang. Don't want that. There we go. Now this can fold to the inside. See, that's what I'm worried about, is that. This winging out. Let me just do a little tiny miter right there. There goes Q, he never fails. Alright, we're going to roll this to the inside. And then we need to attach these two sides. Bring her up. Nice square corner. Burn it. It's really stiff. Good old clothespins. Let's get the other side. Okay. There's our three-sided box. Of course, we still have more to do to it, but it's going to sit right inside the album like this. Barely leave an edge for you. And then this will close down over it. Isn't that cool? I think it's going to come together okay. I do have, where I might cut it, I have a little chipboard showing, but that's going to be covered anyway, so I'm not worried about that. I'm really liking this. Okay, I'm going to let that set up to dry. I'll get the rest of my papers cut and I'll be back with you. Okay, we've got our album built and the box. So what we're going to do is attach the two together, and this is going to sit right inside the cover. And you're going to have a little bit of leeway at the top and both sides, not enough to really put any design paper under it. At least I don't think so. You can if you want to. I'm going to attach mine with the art glitter glue, and I took the fine tip off so I can get an ample amount. Oh goodness, that's really coming out. I think my black top is split. Be sure you have a baby wipe on hand to clean up any overage. Yeah, oh, that's what it is. The top broke. I dropped something on it a while ago. That's my fault. I have to get out another top. So I'm going to set this just inside. Try to ballpark it and get it even from top to bottom and get it straight. And I want it right up too, but not covering that fold, so that when it closes, it's just like that. Yeah, I've not got a bit of ooze. Let me go around and clean that up. Let me scoot it down just a hair. Get this glue out of there. It catches quick. Okay, so that will be your box. Now you can see we've got some room up here that we can add something to the front cover. Still got some ooze coming out over here. Gotta find me another black tip for this. I broke it. It's way too open, but I'm gonna put this pin and top back on it to keep it from drying up till I get, oh, maybe I'm not. Oh. Whoa. Get this pin out of it. Even the pin bent. Okay, I got the pin out of it. I can set this back over the black top. I think I've got another one somewhere. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's how those two go together. And I am going to put a closure on it just so that this doesn't lean that way. It'll hold it nice. So when you sit it on your shelf, see how it looks like a book? Isn't that cool? Now if you want this to touch flush here and not add anything to your front cover, then you can make this spine 1 1/4 or 1 5/8 instead of 1 1/2 if you wish. But I want to add something to the cover. That's why I did mine that way. I'm still getting some glue out here. I got a little excess because that tip was broken. Okay, now let's put our folder in there, and you'll see we've got plenty of room. Fits in there just fine. And then we'll have our closure. Very cool. I like that. Alright, I will be back. I've got to get my design papers cut and ready to go, and I'll be back and show you the final walkthrough of the finished project. Thanks, guys.